We have a surprise release today from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Ploys.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, we're glad to see you. And we're so excited that you're here today because we had not actually planned on filming this episode today.
Not.
We'll get back to that in a minute. For our mention today, there's a meetup.
There is
coming to
today.
the Phoenix area this weekend. And I know some of the crew from PAA are going to be there, so we thought as long as y'all were doing some traveling and y'all were going into Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements country, we would mention our lather lid.
Yes.
How'd you find this?
So I had seen it a few times and I was at checkout. There's a few things that pop up on the website. Hey, don't forget one of these. And I finally pulled the trigger because I just was so intrigued on what it was. And I didn't even realize that it actually fits on the Phoenix size artisan bowls.
Yeah, so if y'all are packing up your soaps for the trip, just throw this on instead of the normal lid and you've got your bowl and your soap all there ready to go.
You just need a brush, you're good.
Yeah, and y'all, this worked better than I even expected it to. This has some magic to it in this design.
Right, you'll see when we lather later.
Yeah,
it's actually kind of surprising.
Right. So,
this soap.
For our soap today, y'all, normally when PAA sends us out a bundle to review, we get a tracking number, we get a little heads up. Well, yesterday, Douglas went on to the group and he said, hey, y'all, I'm going to be sending you out something. It would be awesome to have a video for Saturday for our super secret release at the meetup. And I said, oh, Douglas, I haven't seen any tracking numbers for this yet, and it's only a couple days away. And he said, check your front porch.
And he was right.
There, it was like a big surprise. This got Shawshanked on all of us. But, oh man, I could not have been more excited to know this was already there waiting for us because, boy, the excitement levels from the brethren on the fan page were through the roof on this. And those who were lucky enough to get it in the advent calendar.
We were jealous.
Oh, they apparently know something we don't, but not for long. Let's meet the soap. All right, this is from the sales page at Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
First off, can you believe Juicy Fruit is 130 years old?
That's surprising.
Wow.
I know Clubman is 200 years old, but there you go. Even the gum is 130 years old.
I would have had no idea. Okay.
Things endure.
I know. I kid you not. It was first released in 1893. My goodness. Talk about staying power, right? I'd personally love to claim credit for this mashup, but all credit goes to Dave Johnson of Fragrance Bros fame. Okay. Dave is known for his nose and knowledge of fine fragrances, so this might seem a little odd for him to have a hand in, but trust me, it's all him.
Y'all, we mostly watch shaving channels, but there is one frag channel that we watch, and it's his. And I think it's just because he seems to be such a sweet guy. Like, so nice and genuine and down to earth.
And he helps us not feel like we don't know all the frag terms.
Right.
You know, like some of the other ones, I'm like, wow, I need a manual. But he's totally welcoming.
And what I love is that even though he does a lot of like giant frag stuff that's not available in the shaving world, he goes bananas for the PAA stuff the way we do. So he recognizes the skills, and I love that too. So
completely.
I believe, as the story goes, he was wearing Atomic Age Bay Rum while chewing Juicy Fruit, and it just clicked. A classic Reese's type moment for sure. Boy, glad tidings a great joy because we are particular fans of the Atomic Age Bay Rum, especially my beloved here.
I was wearing it last night.
The atomic pumpkin levels on that aftershave just kind of go down a little bit week by week if you don't pay too close attention.
Oopsie.
All right. After the huge popularity of this set during our holiday advent calendar release, we figured we'd save it for something special in the coming year. Well, what could be more special than another Arizona Wet Shavers meetup?
Right?
Paygum, fun, yet oddly masculine and
epic.
Epic.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. Fun fact, the first item to be scanned using a UPC barcode was a package of Juicy Fruit gum.
How cool.
Wow.
That is a fun fact.
Fun fact, there was a special lane at the grocery store when I was growing up that was for parents with young kids that did not have any candy displays. You had to wait extra time to get in that line, but your kids wouldn't stand there going, can I have this? Can I have this? Can I have this? Which was one of my favorite games to play in the first place, so I hated that line.
That is fabulous.
There you go.
Good
I'm trying
job
to think
on
what they
your store.
usually had. I think it was like shoe insoles.
Magazines or something.
Yeah, no, something that kids wouldn't want, right?
Yeah,
but
medicine.
y'all, I know when you think Bay Rum and bubble gum, your brain's going to go, oh, that seems like it's fun and kitschy. But hold on. The response that I was reading throughout December on the fan page and beyond was like, y'all, this is a match made in heaven.
Right?
This is
How
something
are these
special.
not put together sooner?
Yeah, so I really don't know what we're about to expect, but I do know it blew off so many socks that there was a nor'easter warning. So, y'all, we are so excited to unbox this. I don't have socks on. She just checked. They were blown.
They've already blown off. We haven't
off.
even smelled this yet.
So this was the secret Shawshanked box that arrived completely unannounced and untracked from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements to our front doorstep yesterday. Oh, look at that. There it is. Okay. Oh, the foamy paper of the aftershave. I love the foamy paper.
Color, though.
Oh, it's ours! It's ours! Oh, look at that! I'm so used to seeing the little ones. I get to see the big one now.
And it's like he's standing at the front of the ship, you know?
That is so cool. And look at the color. Y'all, have you ever picked up a juicy fruit gum? Because just that yellow color alone makes you happy.
And it's kind of hard to see, but there is some like aging on it. So now knowing how old it is.
Distress?
Yeah, it doesn't
you're right.
Like a little distress.
Oh, that's cool. It's just a little aged. And here's my favorite confetto doing a very important job.
It is a very important.
And let's see. Oh, it's the splash. Don't they look good together? All right, boys and girls, I have been waiting all season for this first impression. I love that there are several sets that have the atomic age Bayrum at their center. Space Nog, for example. The shaving, I believe, has the atomic age Bayrum.
And there's some that we have not even touched yet.
Atomic
There's
pumpkin,
tons.
right? There's a coconut, there's a pineapple, there's a Boomtown.
Oh, right.
And yo, the cool thing is, whatever the other character is that mixes with the Bayrum, always has a lovely way of having an effect on the character of the Bayrum that changes it ever so slightly.
Brings out a different side somehow or something.
Every single one is so different because the Bayrum itself does not smell the same in each soap because the partner it's dancing with is different in each soap. So, this could be anything. I know we're thinking like, juicy fruit and Bayrum, but this could go way beyond.
Right,
so.
look at, he's blowing a bubble and then inside is the cube.
Y'all,
Sneaky.
It's the little touches, which tell us this is a parallel universe of some kind.
Right?
Maybe
Something's
close to our
happening.
own, maybe not. Let's open it and see how close we are.
I'm going first?
You're going first.
boy.
I want to see your face.
Okay.
You are our Bayrum
This is a
queen
tight lid.
around here with the Atomic Age Bayrum. So.
Right. I know, now I feel like I should be chewing some gum while we do this episode.
Yeah, no, I don't want to ruin the set notes just in case it's too close. I bet it is.
Okay. Yep.
The chin tucked. It was subtle, but the chin tucked. You rarely see that here in
These
the
are
Barbershop
two
Duet.
best friends.
The two
It's
best
like,
friends.
hey, there you go. It's
Oh.
like peanut butter and jelly. It's like, just, it makes sense.
I'm jealous in these rare moments where she has forbidden knowledge that I don't.
And it's nice because you forget that the gum itself has a sweeter side, but it does have that powdery like coating on it. And there's something in that I'm getting that really is the perfect blend into the Bayrum side because it does have in the Bayrum, there's that kind of citrusy part of it with the different stuff going on. And there's something that really blends very well.
I think she's gonna be wearing this one to bed tonight.
Like the fun part is if I didn't know those two scents existed separately, I would think this is a whole new scent because they blend so well.
Right. And isn't that the ball game? Because, let's have a grown-up conversation. Half the people that you pass on the street when you're wearing this, you're going to want them to almost have that little whimsical reach of, hey, is that juicy fruit gum? That's a really cool scent. And then for some, you're going to kind of want it to go over their heads a little bit. And you're going to kind of want them to take that in as an aftershave in its own character and be like, oh, that's fun. Can it do that?
Yes. And I oddly, like for us right now, it's a rainy, cold day outside. Yeah. And this scent to me fits that perfectly. I thought it was going to be more summer,
I would think like more
baseball
tropical,
game kind of thing or something.
Right.
I mean, I could be wrong. We'll let you know when summer hits. I'm sure I'll bust it out.
I'm sure she's not wrong. Nobody's ever wrong in the Barbershop Duet, folks.
Yeah, this is a fun experience. I'm very curious to see what you're going to say. I feel like this might be your new favorite of the Bayrums. I don't know.
Okay,
we might be fighting for this one, people. This might get serious.
I was a Wrigley kid growing up. The white, the spearmint gum. The green, the Doppelman gum. Don't even get me started. But it was a special day that you got your juice fruit gum.
True.
And my Nana used to keep them in her purse, and she would rip them in half, and you'd get half a stick at a time.
it
And
was
she
rare
had
to
her
have
free
that.
dent with it because she had the dentures.
Oh, funny.
Anyway,
But you
all
can
right.
just-
I'm so excited.
Thanks,
Let's see
Anna.
how this goes.
Okay. I know. That's all you need. You know, right?
Oh, man!
You can see why it was off the charts. I get it. Good job, Fragrance Bros, because this is a thing, I have to say.
Y'all, sometimes there are notes when they're played together. And then sometimes
It just...
there are notes that when you hear them together, they just have a way of calming your soul.
Right?
The way these notes are coming together, I hate to say, the entirety of the Advent Calendar crew was right.
Yep.
But,
You were right. Tip a hat, whatever.
y'all, when you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
okay.
it's just a nice experience.
Oh.
I don't know. See if what I said makes sense now that you've got your nose on
this
it.
is incredible. So the first thing I love about this, let's dive in. The oak, the wood of the Atomic Age Bay Rum for me
Oh,
is just
fun.
a fantastic part of it because it's aged in oak barrels. He used to age it with oak cubes, right?
Right.
So that's an important part of it. And I think there's a little bit too in the part of the bay itself,
Yeah.
the Caribbean Bay, that adds a little bit of that, a little bit of the stem or something in the
yeah.
leaf that I sense, right? So that for me, being all the way on this side is what's reaching all the way on this side to grab onto the sweetest parts of the gum.
Yes.
So it's like the driest parts of the bay rum are connecting with the lightest parts
with you.
of the gum. And those are meeting somehow in the middle. And then everything else is happening underneath it.
There's a lot happening. They just blend so well. It's like a lock and key. So it's hard to pull the pieces apart. You can, only because we've smelled the Bay Rum side before.
Wow. And yes, and you know what it is? The bay rum is there. It's what I expect. But when the juicy fruit comes in, that's what's being changed a little bit. So I rescind my former hypothesis. The bay rum is exactly what you'd expect,
Right,
thankfully,
right.
because please, it's favorite.
Right, you don't need to cheat, but...
But it's when that juicy fruit dances with it, because I can. If I smell for just this side, I can smell just the juicy fruit. But the fun part is smelling how they come together.
Agreed.
Because you're absolutely right. The juicy fruit is what changes in that moment.
It's the
And like,
perfect amount of sweet, too. It's just savory enough that the powder side of it, that it doesn't get too sweet. It doesn't get gourmandy. It stays in that, like... It's just something fresh in there. I get it. Like, if I was chewing juice fruit, and yep, total...
we need a new scale on this show. You know what we need? We need a scale for I'm not done smelling this yet.
Right.
Because some soaps, after 2 or 3 whiffs, I got it.
Yeah.
I am ready to talk about it. I have been, my delight has happened. It's occurred, and we're moving forward.
Yep, nope.
I
hold
have
on.
not even begun to leave the launch pad yet.
Yeah,
on this.
that's usually how you can tell when you're watching an episode, too, because we just keep whiffing. We can't even talk without whiffing. Like, clearly...
My nose is just so delighted by this.
Yes.
It doesn't even want to figure it out.
Is there a time of day that you get? Because I almost got, like, morning? I don't know. Like, I wanted to
Okay,
start
hold
my
on.
day with my new friend. I don't know.
You know what's cool? These parts of this are so separate.
Right.
That I put on the Atomic Age Bay Rum at night. I think it's a really, I
Yeah.
did the other night.
I'm with you.
It's a super calming thing
Yep.
for me. It's a super nighttime cozy feeling. Just sit down, watch your nighttime shows, head off to bed. That is what I would smell in this if I wanted to put it on at night. It would be there for me.
Right.
But if I needed this to be a morning soap, that juicy fruit
Right?
would be what wakes me up and pulls me off the bench
I'm
of
with
that
you.
basketball game. So this could go either way.
And I don't know why, but I almost can smell, like, the fog in the air. Is that weird?
No!
Like,
I
there's
totally get
something that really flips the scent for me,
Right.
which is kind of cool.
Because sometimes we'll see a scent note that's like sea foam, right?
Right.
And you're like, well, how do they make that, right? So yeah, there is something in here that, like, if you called it like
Right.
foggy morning, I would
get it.
totally buy it, right?
Like, with maybe something sweet on the air, but that's it.
I can't stop smelling it. It's that good.
That's why I said we're
right.
going to fight over it, because...
My body's like, here, put pause on this so you can just smell this for half an hour and then you'll talk
But
about
we
it.
are busy, body. You're going to have to hang tight.
Wow. I am fascinated to see if the scent notes of the juicy fruit itself get broken out. But
Oh.
I kind of hope in a way they don't. Because if you know the smell of juicy fruit gum, you don't need to go any further.
No.
It's just juicy fruit gum. So.
Right. Well, and then we also have the splash. I don't know if we're ready for that.
I don't need you to see my head explode on camera. I think YouTube has rules about that. So I think we should do the scent notes now. I was a little right about that. Not a whole lot of scent notes for the
Nope.
light side. It just tells you, folks, we have in here juicy fruit. And then in parentheses,
Yup.
Yep.
You read that
That's
right.
it. And then
That's
moving
right.
on.
Select West Indian herbs, spices, and citrus, which I think the citrus has a fun connection.
Oh, it does.
Happening with the juicy fruit.
It
that
does.
they're making a new version of a citrus
Right?
happen.
And I actually looked up the set notes for Juicy Fruit Gum before we started in case.
Did you?
And they're really enigmatic. Wrigley's
Okay.
doesn't actually even tell you. I mean,
Interesting.
it was super popular in the
Right,
service
right.
And things like that.
Yeah.
Like they needed them in their meals ready to eat. Like they requested the Juicy Fruit
Fun.
Gum.
I didn't know that.
So it was like a really, really beloved flavor,
Right.
but Wrigley's never really said what was in it. So
Intriguing.
those who have sort of ripped it apart say there's a little banana.
I can
and they
see
say
that.
there's a little peach and there's a little jackfruit.
Oh, fun.
But they all also acknowledge that that is not certainly all it is and that they don't know what it all is.
Okay, well, clearly the wizard, Douglas himself, figured it out because...
Clearly magic's been done. And you know what? I love that the story of this comes so organically.
Right?
Because Dave was wearing Atomic Age Bay Rum and chewing Juicy Fruit and went,
Right? Like he must have just like rubbed, just got the whiffs together.
right? So it's like organically a Reese's commercial. He
Not
accidentally
on
put them
purpose.
together and went, holy crap.
Wait a
You
second.
know, and isn't that the best way to do it? Stephen King talks about that, how his story ideas come from two things that don't seemingly relate,
Right.
but his brain is able to put them together. His very first book, he was teaching high school English, and there was a girl at the high school that was being really bullied, like really bad. And there was an incident that happened in the locker room, and he felt
Right.
really bad for her, but he picked up his science fiction magazine, and it said that sometimes telekinesis can evolve in young girls at the age of high school. And as he says, bingo. He put those two together. And Carrie was written a month later. And that just started his
Started it
career.
all.
So
How
he always
crazy.
talks about how his stories are two ideas that just come together. And they should have
Organically,
always been there
magically.
together in the first place. And man,
Agreed.
when it's done right, it's done
Wow,
incredibly
Dave,
right.
I get why you were like, hold on, Douglas, you gotta put these together.
Wow.
And we are very grateful. Good
And
on you.
yeah, like totally. And you know, his nose and Douglas's, it makes perfect sense
True.
that they both went.
Hold
There's
on.
something special to that. And you know what I love? The more silly it seems, the more good it is.
Right.
Bay rum and juicy fruit gum of anything you could have paired it with, and then you just want to see him go, try it.
But it's funny, like think about people that didn't know that the advent calendar existed. They're
Right.
just gonna see this pop up and be like, what?
Yeah, there were some
no.
big surprises in the advent calendar. One of them was like based on a gun oil. Like,
Oh, right.
But one my dad used. So I was like, oh, I want that. Right.
Right.
So stuff like that. So I love that in the advent calendar and in the shaving world, and some of these releases
Mm-hmm.
are on the outskirts of what you would ever expect, but they become such prized
They do.
possessions of your cabinet. And if we're going to open this splash, I think we're going to have to go down a few flights. This is our Atomic Rocket. This is my very first shaving brush and still one of my absolute favorites. It's on all of our graphics.
Look at that immediately with this lid.
Yo,
It's
look
just
at this
crazy.
lather lid. It's the
Like,
perfect
I
size. It's
barely
got the
started.
perfect little ridges inside to hold the soap.
There's something about the ridges that add this different aeration or something to the lather.
Right.
Like immediately it starts getting all foamy happy.
And it knows how to
Crazy.
handle that Phoenix ladder. That's cool.
Do you get that citrus powdery part coming through?
I do. And I'm
Because
so
I
glad
really
you said
was
that. Like
hit
the
by that.
powder on the wrapper of the gum.
Right? You know, like when you first put it in your mouth and it kind of
Right.
has that powder
Just
on it.
almost alluding to a powder of a barbershop.
There's
kind of, if
something,
you want
but
to think
it's
about
but-
this as a cologne.
Yeah, but it's still got that sweet hit, but
Right.
there is
Oh,
you
yeah.
can smell that
Right.
powdery side, which I was not expecting.
Great.
Okay. See. Ooh. Let's see.
Oh! Whoa.
Interesting.
Y'all, what is happening in the middle of this?
Yeah, I feel like now it's kind of spreading out a little.
Y'all, if I dive into right where the bay rum meets the juicy fruit, I'm getting something floral.
Right.
I'm getting something fruity, ambrosial. Like,
Right. And then the citrus in there, it's almost like an orange blossomy thing or something.
right.
It's
I
a
mean,
different type of
focusing on where the Atlantic and the Pacific come together.
Right.
Like, oh, there is a world going on that's way beyond these set notes.
And you know what's kind of fun is out of the bay rums, which I know I'm kind of weird that it vibes towards one of my favorites, but this almost could have not just like an innocent side to it, but a little bit more of a feminine side.
Oh,
I don't
right.
know how that's happening, but I'm smelling something sweeter, more floral, more citrusy.
Right.
That is a little. I'm not saying it's a girly soap. Don't worry.
No,
It's not.
But it's juicy fruit. Does
but
juicy fruit have like a sex that it prefers? No, it's juicy fruit
but-
gum. We can all love it.
right.
However,
There's some of you, I know that you talk about like some of your significant others aren't fans of some of your bay rums or something.
Right.
This is the perfect one to use to introduce them to find a fun side for their bedroom.
This doesn't have tobacco. This doesn't have rum. This doesn't have oud. This doesn't have some of those things that are darker and spicier and masculine things up sometimes.
But I also feel like this is a bay room that even your kids would enjoy. There's another side to it that will really help like interlace, the different worlds by this scent, which I was not expecting.
No, would this be the first scent that would be something grown up and masculine and cologne for the dad?
Yeah.
Kind of fun and fruity for the mom.
Yep.
And fun and juicy fruit gum-like for the kiddos.
Right, like an all-inclusive scent?
Is this our first family soap we're looking at here,
Well,
folks?
kind of like
the bay gum?
smell it and think of going to like a baseball game together.
Right.
Or like going out to like a fun adventure, a picnic outside. Like,
This would not be all that far from the way that my station wagon smelled when we'd leave for vacation. Not coming
back.
Everybody was clean.
But there is that fun adventure side that I'm getting.
Right. Yes.
I was
100%.
not expecting. I mean,
Well, think about the moment that you pop in your juicy fruit gum. You usually do that when you're heading out for the day. You're heading out for an adventure. You're going to go do something fun. So that already has that little mental reminder that something fun's about to happen, right?
Or like what you said, your Nana had it in your purse. Like there was something about the candy in your grandma's purse that they knew they had the good stuff.
Well, half a stick torn in half by my little grandma.
But it still counted. But there is something about that, like that keeping that innocence, the fun alive.
100%.
Okay, we're going for it. We've waited long enough.
We are going to dive into this. This is the Aftershave Splash. And if you have never read the box of your Aftershave Splash from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, there is awesome information.
And on the inside flap, there's even a hidden cube. There's some fun little details on there that maybe you hadn't noticed before. Okay, let's see. I'm going to let you go first.
It's actually Valentine's Day, may I?
Oh, yeah, sure. I was going to say you have to go first, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, we're filming this on our Valentine's fun. That's how we spend our Valentine's, y'all.
This is what we do for fun, folks.
Yeah.
It's different! It's different in the splash!
There's like, okay, I know I can see the pink on the label, but I'm getting that color, and it's not just because it's Valentine's. I'm getting like a different color than I normally get in mine.
First of all, how did you make this not candy? It's not candy.
No.
It's not a childish scent.
It is not.
At all. If you know, put it in the comments. Y'all, this is not a childish scent.
And the sweet part of it is not the normal sweet. That would be a gourmandy sweet or something. Like, I don't know what it is that's making it sweet, but it's something different.
No, and I don't know if it's like a lactonic note. I don't know if but it's just something that's just so delightful and delicious in the middle of these two scents.
And it's okay, because sometimes when you smell something like this, you'd think it would be like a hard candy. How do we know that it's a gum? But you do.
Right. I think it's just muscle memory, because if you remember the commercials, when they put it in their mouth, they always like have it caught on their tongue and they bend as it went in their mouth. Totally. Right? They'd have to practice that shot. I think it's that. I think
and you can see the zigzag on the gum.
Yeah, right. I think it's just Pavlovian. I think that when we smell juicy fruit, our brain just goes somewhere beautiful.
Smell it on me, though. I feel like the feminine thing.
Dudes, y'all, it's floral, it's beautiful. There's stuff in the middle that's beyond these two things coming together.
Right?
These are making new scent notes in the middle.
And then smell it on you, because there's a little more of the
The
woodsy.
oak, right? Yeah. The spices, the more masculine stuff.
Insane. I mean, I knew we would hope we would like this, but my oh my.
It's like one of those paintings that changes depending on where you're standing. You know what I mean?
Right, and the fact that it could smell so good on you and on me, but it's completely a little bit different on both of us.
So it's pretty simple. All you have to do is be a little kid in Stockton, California, visiting your grandparents in 1984. Your grandpa's going to put on some bay rum, and he's going to be ready to take you out to Chuck E. Cheese Pizza and maybe even a side trip to Toys R Us after that, because he doesn't get to see you all that often. But your grandma, before you go, she's going to dig in her purse and hand you a little silver thing. It's going to be coated with hair and lint, but I'll tell you what, if you put that in your mouth and stand next to Grandpa, boy, you just got your own. So head over to their website at phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com, or even better, do it by way of the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, which lets them know that we sent you, and it gives us back a small percentage of the sale, which we'll probably spend on soap so we can make more episodes. It's at no cost to you, and we would be grateful. Y'all, okay, look, we have both had our shave with bay gum. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. We had gotten each other some very deeply researched and very highly coveted cologne dupes to our favorite Tom Ford fragrances, and we have been drooling over the sealed boxes all week to open them on Valentine's night. Well, This was so good and so unexpected that after we shot our review yesterday, we realized it was 11 o'clock p.m. and we still had not opened or tried on those dupes yet because Big Gum was so good and so fascinating and just kept enveloping us all day. Look at my face. We did not reapply. It's one of those. Y'all, everything about this is incredible, all the way down to the chemistry. Douglas, Fran, Huxley, man, home run. Y'all, thank you for surprising us. Thank you for the gift of this. Thank you for this being as good as everybody said it was. And have a great time at the meetup, y'all.
Welcome to Messages.
Hey y'all, so Rod and Mandy at Sterling Soap have created an homage to their pets. It's called Friends to the End, and it's there to benefit the local animal shelters near Paris, Arkansas. So we thought when we did that review, it would be really cool to have y'all send in a picture of you and your pets, and we're going to make a little montage of all of those at the end of the episode. I hope we get to see Huxley and
send them
Macduff
in. And to this email.
Yes, to we sent you at thebarbershopduet.com and watch the end of that episode. Okay, I'm super jealous that they're all in Phoenix right now, having a great time at the meetup, and some of our friends have traveled all kinds of miles to get there, but there is a little bit of solace. Because when they get there and they are having their socks blown off by this brand new release somewhere far off in Northern California, there'll be a couple people who are enjoying it right along with them and having the best time. Y'all, I know we don't publish my favorites list, but the constant viewers know that I have this F word list, and this is sitting right toward the top in a big old throne with LED lights.
Yeah, we might have to rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to shave with this first.
Oh, me, because look, I got right now. And I have to shoot the How It Shaves section today, so we could both. It's Valentine's. We can have a group
we'll both do it. There we go. Yeah. Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell way better just watching this.